Hello. The weather pattern across Europe is going to come to be dominated by high pressure in the next few days. The high sitting across Western Europe, expanding down into Northern Africa and pushing its way as far north as Scandinavia. To the east, though, we do still have the tail end of a frontal system to contend with for Greece and Turkey that will bring some windy weather, some wetter conditions and some wintry weather to the mountains of Turkey through Wednesday. In fact, some of the snowfall for Turkey could be quite heavy and problematic, but hopefully most of it will be across the highest ground and away from populated areas, but just 8 degrees with a chance of some rain for Istanbul on Wednesday. Plenty of sunshine though takes us all the way across the Mediterranean. A bit more cloud, perhaps some of that low cloud, a risk of some fog as well for France and the UK midweek, and a similar chance for Poland. But actually for Scandinavia and the northeast of Europe, it is still unseasonably mild for the time of year, even though those temperatures are only a couple of degrees below freezing. We'd expect them to be well below at the moment, and you can see that mildness continues in the days ahead. Looking much clearer for the southeast as the week pans out, but towards the northwest, things will become more mobile. So for Finland, often a chance of quite windy weather, wet around the coast, and then wintry as those fronts push inland. And a lot of fine weather though on the way for London, Paris, Madrid and Athens. Hello. Blizzard conditions to contend with for Ontario, Quebec and the upper Midwest on Tuesday, courtesy of this area of low pressure here. This trailing weather front could still bring a few showers into Florida as well, but a much clearer picture as we look to the southeast. Keeping a close eye on this area of low pressure approaching the Baja Peninsula of Mexico. Some wet weather here on Tuesday. It looks like all of that rainfall could surge through though into the Gulf of Mexico later on in the week and then target the southeast of the US. Meanwhile, for the Pacific Northwest, it's a very wet, windy and indeed wintry story for the coming days. In fact, for much of this week, we could see rainfall affecting the western coast of Canada. And then as we see that turning to snow across the Rockies, we're anticipating up to 2 metres of snowfall for some parts of British Columbia. Much clearer skies as we make our way further south into California. Plenty of sunshine for Los Angeles and Las Vegas in the next few days. Let's take a closer look at what's happening further east for Tuesday then. Montreal and Toronto both wrapped up in our area of low pressure. For New York though, I think there will be some sunny spells before the system rolls through. Plenty of sunshine across the Carolinas, down into Georgia and Florida. Just a slim chance of the odd shower here, but look out for that heavier rain as I promised, moving its way southeastwards later on in the week. Hello. Our latest South American satellite imagery shows you very clearly where all of the shower action is across the continent at the moment through the Amazon basin region. These bright white shower heads blooming with the continental heat. Further south and its frontal systems bringing in the rain, particularly to Uruguay, the tail end of an area of low pressure making for a wet story here on Tuesday. To the south though, clearer skies, sunshine and warmth across southern Argentina. But the showers really are set to amass across Colombia all the way through into eastern Brazil on Tuesday. Looking at the map here behind me, you can barely put a pin between them, but there will be some sunnier intervals, but some of those downpours are going to be heavy and thundery. The driest of the weather though certainly on the way for central Chile and Argentina, I think, as we look at the next few days, and there will be some significant warmth around here. For Rio though, some heavier rain beginning to move in on Friday. La Paz with some fairly frequent showers in the next few days. Some wetter weather on the way for western Mexico through the course of the week ahead. Some showers around the Gulf of Mexico and mainly sunshine, I think, as we drift across into the Caribbean, but not without the chance of some showers here too for Cuba, Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Some heavier rain to come for parts of Costa Rica, although San Jose should see a good deal of sunshine in the next few days. Hello. We start our look at the weather across Africa and the Middle East with our satellite picture. And as we track southwards, you can see this massive cloud here close to Mauritius. This is Cyclone Calvinia, which has been throwing some pretty heavy rain across Mauritius in the last 24 hours. It's now going to track northwards away from the islands, hopefully staying away from Madagascar, but we have plenty of heavy rain for the northern half of the country to come here anyway on Wednesday, and some heavier downpours also set to affect parts of Mozambique and Zambia. To the north of the African continent, unseasonably cool thanks to high pressure pulling cooler air all the way down from the heart of Europe. So our temperatures sitting 5-6 degrees below average for Algiers and Tunis in the next few days. Still some heavy showers to come across the eastern half of South Africa for Johannesburg. Heat starting to abate a little for Cape Town as we see a weather front coming in on Saturday and Sunday, bringing a little cloud here. Across the Middle East, increasingly unsettled for the Levant in the next few days as low pressure moves across from Turkey. Generally, though, further south, it's a fine and dry story, perhaps a little bit of patchy coastal early morning mist and fog for Yemen and Oman. The winds are typically quite light as well, so we're not anticipating any significant issues with blowing dust and sand. You can see our forecast still largely dominated by sunshine in the next few days. Hello, some pretty big contrasts in the weather for India at the moment. To the south and east of the country, we're anticipating some fairly frequent heavy and thundery showers. To the north, there's a lot of settled weather, but settled in the form that we've trapped quite a lot of moisture, and there will be lingering fog for Delhi, Haryana, the Punjab, and below average temperatures for the time of year as well, by the order of around at least 5 or 6 degrees in some areas, about 10 or 12 degrees lower than we would anticipate. Take a look at how the showers, though, really bloom in the east through the day on Wednesday. Head further north, it's a more wintry story, but temperatures are not exceptionally chilly across Kazakhstan for this point in the year, around freezing as a daytime high for Nur Sultan on Wednesday. 4 degrees in Kabul. We could see some wintry showers drifting through here through the middle of the week. A lot of sunshine takes us across the Western Ghats. We should see sunshine for the Maldives and for Sri Lanka. A largely dry story too, but a lot of rainfall, as you can see, amassing here along the eastern coast of India. Some squally winds possible at times too. Still plenty of sunshine in the outlook for Mumbai, maybe the odd shower making its way as far north as Dhaka on Friday. Getting increasingly murky for Islamabad as that cloud sinks down from the north. For Nur Sultan, some colder weather on the way in the next few days. Hello. With the rainy season in full swing across Indonesia, no surprises that there's plenty of cloud, bright white shower clouds showing up here on our latest satellite picture. Further north, and you can see the skies are much clearer across China. An area of high pressure sits in place that will bring more fine weather in the coming days, and that high extends across the Korean peninsula and into the southern half of Japan. Different story for the northern half of the country. Fronts moving through, some snowfall for the mountains of Hokkaido. Few showers possible for Vietnam on Wednesday. Should stay fine for northern Thailand. A mixed bag for Singapore. Some sunny spells, but some slightly drizzlier conditions at times too. Plenty of heavy showers still to come across Indonesia. Some fairly frequent rain for Jakarta. Taipei, though, should see some sunny spells. There's Singapore with some heavier showers at times. For Australia, we're still very much dominated by the dry and hot weather here. The heat abates somewhat for Sydney on Wednesday, but we anticipate the temperatures rising once again across the eastern side of the country later in the week. Some unseasonably hot weather for Christchurch on Wednesday at 32 degrees, but this cold front swinging in from the south will see the temperatures coming down quite swiftly as we look further ahead into the week. For Christchurch, back down at just 19 degrees by Friday with some rain.